Welcome to this channel. The channel is for education and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So again, today I like to remind you guys that I'm going to speak slowly. And when you watch this video, you can speed it up to 1.7x or more. So after I share the past video, the previous video, which is on the put the Qi and Jing into the proper perspective video, I got many messages asking me two groups of questions from our Chinese martial art friends, from our Wing Chun friends. So today I like to respond to this two questions so that everybody have the same answer from me. The first questions where many people ask is, so Henrik, you mean that today's Chinese martial art is mostly a recent creations and it is not a complete system? And some of our friends say, oh, now Chinese martial arts is just recreations, fitness training. So this is the two type of questions I got from our friend. Now, another type of questions is like those friends who send me a message, many of them. So this is the example. So like this one is, I would greatly appreciate any advice, guidance, or recommendation resources you might suggest to elevate practice of Wing Chun. I saw your comment that you do not intend to give class, but I would like to ask how you intend in practical term to disseminate knowledge of your lineage. Are there other masters from your lineage teaching classes? So this one is like one to learn, asking me, how does lineage informations uh, disseminate, disseminate. Now, so I'm going to respond to the first questions on, is it true that most of today's Chinese Kung Fu are an incomplete system, creations of a recent 100 something years? Is it true that today's Chinese Kung Fu, including Wing Chun and Tai Chi, is for recreations and fitness, no longer it is fighting arts or martial arts? So let me answer this question this way. Traditional Chinese martial arts, the complete system, it has to consist of momentum, power, strength, movement. It has to have a pretty comprehensive momentum, including the tactical or combinations of momentum, because fighting is about exchanging of momentum. And then the power type of that style, and then the strength type of that style, and then the movement, which is that style needed. So in the using the Qi Ji Guang sense. This is 1560, 460 years ago, when Qi Shi Guang trained his army. A comprehensive Chinese martial art system ought to have the long fist, short strike, and ground fight type of momentum combinations or tactical handling. And then the power to support all this momentum play. And then the strength, which is support to deliver the power. And then the movement needed. Your body need to be able to move to support all this momentum. Okay. Without that, you don't have a fighting art, a complete one. You don't have one. And this is not my Hendrik standard. This is what is written in General Qi Ji Guang's writing. You need to know this. This is the basic of traditional Chinese martial arts. Okay? Even if you talk about like today, people boasting like Tai Chi is 1,000 years, Tai Chi Chuan is 1,000 years old. I mean, come on. Chen Tai Chi, the oldest real Tai Chi you can find in the history, is taking 29 of the 32 momentum of General Qi Ji Guang. So in a complete system, you need to have the momentum, the power, the strength training, the movement needed to cover all the stuff. That is the basic. Okay, with this uniqueness. Without this, say if we go straight at Wing Chun, your linear chain punch, how is it fit into this? Just one single chain punch, and you want to call that a system? Of course, it's incomplete. How about the Wing Chun movement? You're standing there with your weight on the back leg. Can you cover all this power, momentum, power, strength, and movement 460 years ago? Of course you cannot. So you look at today's Wing Chun. It is incomplete, and also does it have all the power training and all this thing? It doesn't have. So that is the bottom line, the standard of determine whether you have a complete Chinese martial art system or not. That's what I just now said. Even Chen Taiji took 29 of the General Qi Ji Guang's 32 momentum. So that's the standard. So if you talk about like today's Taiji, I have this jing, that jing, but you have no idea on momentum and the combinations, okay, like the combo, up and down, and with a different type of fighting scenario, you don't have it in fighting art. In terms of internal, if you don't have the 6 core element, the physical element, the mind element, the breathing element, the chi element, the strength element, and then the momentum element with all the states clearly be able to address it and be able to develop it. You don't have internal. So it is this clear now in the history of China You want to talk about it as a fighting art, you have to have the momentum, the power, the strength, the movement. You want to have a internal art on top of that fighting art, on top of that com, 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 comprehensive system fighting art, then you need to have all those elements and its details intact. Or else you really don't have anything. So you look at today's Wing Chun, you look at today's even Shaolin, Tai Chi. The matter of fact, it is a problem since, as what I pointed out, what Tang Hao pointed out in the start 1930s with all this Tang Hao and then the Mali Tang and everything. It is all based on second. Like here, Tang study of Shaolin and Wudang attack the myth still popular today, meaning today, 2023, that attribute Shaolin martial art to Buddhist monk Bodhidharma and Tai Chi to legendary Taoist sage Zhan Sanfeng. So for past 100 years, it's been like that. That's why when Xi Xiaodong said this is a fake martial art, fake kung fu, is it fake kung fu? Today, you make a survey. How many those who practice Chinese kung fu know about Bodhidharma and Zhan Sanfeng? Compare with how many know about General Qi Jiguang, General Yi Dayu, and General Tang Sunzhi? Shaolin, before Yi Dayu, 1560s, 50s, 60s. What is Shaolin? As I put it here in this book, the record is Yi Dayu went to Shaolin Temple to check out, to say, hey, I want to see your martial arts. He's a general. And it ended up that he have to take two of the monks from Shaolin, bring it back with him and train them, and then let these two monks go back and teaching Shaolin. You know that is empty in Shaolin at that time compared with Yi Dayu. That's his story. And that's why we know that even the Shaolin classic, which is Wing Chun, is based on, Wing Chun 1850s is based on, is actually based on the General Qi Jiguang's teaching, military teaching. So if you look at today's orders on the Shaolin Bodhidharma, Southern Shaolin, Mui Jisim, Zhan Sanfeng, internal, this grandmaster, that grandmaster. Does it really happen in the real history of China? No, it never happened. And yet the three general who influenced Chinese martial arts after 1560s, Qi Jiguang, Yi Dayu, and Tang Sunzhi, how many people know? You can check all the Chinese, including, yes, in mainland China, how many of them know? Especially those internal art people. Check at them. How many of them know that Chen Tai Chi is created taking 29 momentum from the General Qi Ji Guang's 32 momentum? Will they acknowledge it? So there is the truth of Chinese Kung Fu. We like it or not, that is the truth. And it's 100 years ago, people already know it is a disaster. And for past 100 years, the disaster is just continue on. Okay? So remember, if you want to talk about martial arts, fighting arts, you need to satisfy to answer the questions of, do you address the momentum, the power, the strength, and the movement? Fully address that. If you don't, you cannot address this, you know you got in problem. Either it is just a recreation or it is just a ritual, or it is just a very incomplete techniques. You won't even call it system. If you want to get into internal, if you have no idea on all the 6 core elements, have the entire thing addressed, you know there's no internal there. It's just talk. Or this Dao is saying this, that Tao De Jing saying this, that saying that, that saying that. So that is the reality. As for Wing Chun today, since many Wing Chun friends asking me on this incomplete Wing Chun, of course, if you don't know the identity, you don't have the salutations, you don't know where the Wing Chun come, like the 1850, you don't know that Wing Chun actually is developed, the base art is from Shaolin Sword Strike, and a part, the engine, is from Mei Zhuang, and some, only a small limited portion is from Fujian White Crane. You don't know it clearly. You will never know what is a plum flower footwork, a triangle footwork is about. It's simple. Today Wing Chun, everybody talk about plum flower footwork, all this kind of stuff. But what if you don't know this? And like this, it said that hatred, one must not have this hatred in practicing the Shaolin art. Not like today's in the movie, oh, you have to have your heart. Hatred is the slogan of Wing Chun. So this is the reality. If you don't know this, you really don't know the full story of Wing Chun. What is it? That's why, if you have no idea who is the Red Boat anti-Ching, the woman's art, right? Female's art. Everybody's saying that, oh, Wing Chun is a female art. If you don't have this identity from the anti-Ching, or today in America, the Chinese Freemasons, you don't have this in details from General Qi Ji Guang to Shaolin Sword Strike, and then you have Mei fuse in, you have some White Crane fuse in. You really, if you don't have this, you really don't know what is Wing Chun. Or you can, like today, you can see for past 100 years, you create all kinds of lineage. This lineage, that lineage, that lineage, that lineage. But for hundreds of years, when people attacking Wing Chun Grandmaster, questioning Wing Chun, questioning Wing Chun Grandmaster, can you defend Wing Chun? Or you just keep quiet? Obviously, if this keep quiet, it just keep quiet. This is at least many, many decades ago. This is at least a decades ago. You see, nobody say a thing. Why? Because when you are not sure What is Wing Chun's identity? What is his art from? How can you defend yourself? Because you yourself not sure. So you say, well, I'm from this lineage, I'm from this lineage. Everybody create their lineage. When you face whatever from outside probing you in, you have no evidence or so what to prove that they are wrong, to champion, to defend Wing Chun. So is today's Wing Chun legit Wing Chun? Well, as what I said. Unless you have orders, it is the Chinese complete system martial art, or else you are a made up. It is incomplete. It can be ritual, it can be recreations. And it back to this again, back to 1930. It is the same thing. It's just replica, keeping, generate more stories, more so-called lineage, and so forth. Okay. So unless you are clear on who you are, what you are, how you are, you have no idea how to defend yourself. You say, well, no, sorry, you don't understand Wing Chun. Unless you know the momentum, the power, the strength, the movement, you don't know the fighting art of Chinese Kung Fu. Unless you know the six core element into details, you don't know the internal. Because those are common denominator. So this is the first questions I now answer to everybody. Of course, I am answering this, will get many, maybe you can even have a lot of people don't like what I'm saying. But this is reality. I am here not running a business or money-making organizations. I'm here talking about the Chinese history. Like in America, how many people do you think would like to know the truth of what is going on? And general public would like to know the truth, right? So hope that today I have already clear with you what happened with the Chinese Kung Fu. What is the common denominator needed there? And as I even tell my friend in Asia, I said, using the Chinese, the general Qi Ji Guang writing as the standard of Chinese Kung Fu. If you want to reform Chinese Kung Fu, whatever not follow the Qi Ji Guang's writing, whatever not follow the Qi Ji Guang's writing, you must question to the big time. It's just this short with all this drawing. Whatever is not following that, then you need to question that. Okay. So I don't set the rule. Qi Ji Guang set the rule. Because in fact, for past 460 years, those people, Qi Ji Guang, Qi Ji Guang, Tang Sun Zhi, and Yi Da Yu are the three generals which is set the platform of Chinese Kung Fu. And then things grow from there, evolve from there. Okay? Now, so hope this is clear with you. I'm whining, but this is very important to know so that you know what it is. Instead of just everybody create their story. And all of this, what I share with you, all of this is trackable, traceable in Chinese history. That's how far we know now in America. Okay. Now, as for this, in practical terms, I would like to ask how you intend in practical terms to disseminate knowledge of your lineage. This friend, like many, many friends, really, they have the same problem. They do not hurt what I'm saying. If they heard what I'm saying or what I'm presenting, they were not asking me about, in practical terms, how to disseminate knowledge of your lineage. Up to now, I have never talked to you about what lineage. I talked to you about history, what happened in China, isn't it? So what is lineage? If you don't even have the platform of the history, what is a lineage? Lineage is just a special way to present the system, like in Zen Buddhism, Chan Buddhism. The basic system is there, but different lineage mean they have a different style to present the teaching of the Buddha. If one don't even know the basic of the system, what lineage? Of course, again, this go back to this so-called fake kung fu or just made up. I can say, well, this is Hendrik's lineage. This is this lineage, that lineage. Today, everybody do that. So thus, when people ask me those type of questions, I know they don't listen to what I'm saying. And in fact, that is a common habit today, a blindness. Today's people do not want to know. They just want to think. They just want their way. They just want to become their grandmaster. They never really want to know. Because they don't want to know. That just show that they don't have sati or the mindfulness. They just show that they cannot clean their cup before they drink other people's drink. They just show that they cannot learn. So I can share with you two things. Number one thing, I always ask whoever took my class to leave at the second class. Okay, so I give them the videos for example, read my video lecture, ask them to do homework. By the second videos, second lecture, after they finish the second lecture, I often ask them to leave. Why? Because most people will not be able to follow the class instruction. Most people have their habit, especially those so-called grandmaster. They will not like to do homework. They will not like to follow instruction. They want their way. So at the second lecture, I always tell them, it's better to part away. After, of course, I warn them, say, you're not following instruction. Now, why is it that it is so important to follow instruction? For example, if we want to go learn how to make pizza, how to bake pizza, how to make pizza, we'll go to a chef who know how to bake pizza, and we'll follow to the details what is the ingredients and how do we deal with the bread and how much temperature we need to bake the pizza, how long and so forth. That is the way how to learn things. But most people cannot do that. They go on their own mind. Whatever the instruction I give them, they don't follow. So at the second lecture, I asked them to go to leave. You don't have to pay me anything on me. Even worse is some when they have the title grandmaster. They don't want to do homework. They don't want to pass homework. They think they can bribe me, like, oh, I pay you tuition fee, and then you will get the certificate and so forth. Well, sorry. By the way, I don't charge high tuition fee. When I teach, it's like the college. How many credit you have? For 1 quarter, you pay for that. You pay for one class, like you pay for a physics class. After the one semester, you expect that you know about the physics. Just one class, okay? Like you go to school. So if you cannot do it, you fail. You're out. And of course, the first, second lecture is giving people face, saying that okay, we think different. You walk your way, I walk my way. Because you know that they cannot learn. It is a habit. It is a really bad habit today. Now, of course, many people learn one or two lecture and they will go out and some even claim that they know more than me. Because they will say, oh yeah, I know, they go learn Tai Chi and so forth, mix together thing and so forth. I like to share with you. Real life is not what today's people, those grandmaster research claim. So this is the Xiu Lim Tao writing. So I got this 1976. By 1978, I found out the Xiu Lim Tao writing here, the lines of the Xiu Lim Tao writing here is actually using the Mei Shi Zhuang's writing. So this is about 1979. Okay, say 78. Now there's a problem. The 1850 Xiu Lim Tao writing here is saying that focus the intention, union with Shen, Y in the equal shoulder stance. This is the first writing. Er is not saying that. Er is saying that balance your breathing. Stand straight in equal shoulder stand. So in the 1850s Wing Chun, it said that focus your intention union with the sun while in the equal shoulder stance. In the it said that balance your breathing. Stand straight in the equal shoulder stance. Now, there's an issue here. Is this the same thing? Is this talking about the same thing? Well, after many, many years of asking, learning from different teachers and everything, it turns out that this is the same thing. Why are they the same thing? This is talking about breathing. This is talking about your mind, your heart. Where's the connections? The connections is as in the secret golden flower. Heart and breath are mutually dependent. So the person who wrote this 1850s Xu Lim Tao quit. He know about this heart and breathing mutual dependent. So when he wrote this 1850s Xu Lim Tao writing, he said, I don't have to write as the Zhuang using the breathing. Now follow words by words. I wrote it in with the heart. So this is Zhuang start with the breathing. This is start with the heart. But heart and breathing are mutually dependent. Well, it takes decades to find out. So those who today just do a little bit study and claim that they are grandmaster in internal, blah, blah, blah. Just from small details, we know they don't know. It can be screened easily. That's why it's in my book. The way of handling the balance breathing. This is over here. Tongue. Okay, so this is the tongue positions. So you can take a snapshot if you don't have the book. It said that in the Qi nurturing practice, tongue has to lightly touch the palate behind the teeth to make deep breathing effortless. Deep breathing will not be fluent or comfortable without tongue lightly touch the palate. So in Zhuang, how did they do the balance the breathing? Tongue on top of the palate. If you want to develop the mind or the heart and the breathing mutual dependent, you have to put your tongue touching the palate while you slightly close your mouth. That's why it's in the Wing Chun Inception. Because we know what it is. That's why we can scientifically verify it with heart rate, breathing, and heart rate variability. That's how it is. So With sharing this with you, let's get back to this again. In practical terms, to disseminate knowledge of your lineage. First, I don't have lineage. I'm talking history. I'm talking what is really exists in history. So one need to be mindful on what I'm talking about, to know what I'm talking about instead of spinning in their mind if they want to learn something. The second thing is what to disseminate knowledge. What to disseminate? The knowledge is always there. The Chinese is always have the document there. 130 years ago, when the Qing Red Boat create the Wing Chun 3 sets where you use today, 小鏈頭尋橋標誌, will they be able to predict that 130 years later, there's somebody in America found out this entire thing? Of course they can, right? So who passed down that knowledge? The truth is the knowledge is in the history records of the Chinese. The knowledge is in the mindfulness practice. As I keeping telling everybody, you need to have a mindfulness train. If you don't have a mindful, you will never see anything in front of you. So there are no such thing as this Sifu can transfer this, transfer this, transfer this. If that can be transferred, how come you say from Tai Fa Ming come from Liangzhan until today, nothing like what I'm sharing with you exists? So it is not about who transfer to who is the grandmaster, about who transfer to who. It is not about that. It is about everything is in the history. Do you have the heart to dig in to see, willing and wanting to see what is the reality? Okay. So the first thing is, unless we want to know, unless we want to be mindful, unless we drop, I want to be my way, my thinking, I'm the grandmaster, and without even knowing anything, it's like, oh, I learned a little bit from Hendrik on this Mei base Wing Chun, and then you add a little bit Tai Chi, and then add a little bit this and that, and then you call yourself a grandmaster on this and that. Unless you drop that, you'll never see what is the truth, and you'll not be able to realize the thing. My goal is to realize it and put it in the book, scientific verifications, so that everybody be able to do it. Not about this grandmaster, that grandmaster. So this is what I like to share with you today. I know it is a straight work and many people will not like it. But if you want to really study Chinese martial art, you want to know Chinese martial art, you want to know the internal, you want to know the Wing Chun, the truth of it, we better walk this path as what I just shared with you. Or else it is just a recreations.